this is interesting to see because you already mentioned some of the points, so I will skip them or go briefly through them, and the discussion as well, especially the points Steve pointed out, like life design, what is it about? Because everyone who's teaching life design has its own way, right? And this study was inspired by another study which we did with Bettina, Barbara, and Stefan. It was, I presented it last year, so where we asked students about life design, what they think life design is, the perception of life design before the intervention and after the intervention of life design. And this study inspired us to think about what is actually life design and what are the concepts, theories behind it in the way I teach it at my university. And so these are the co-authors for this paper, and this is the first draft, so you will see there are not really like conclusions yet, and we want to bring on board also someone from positive psychology, an expert, and Savikas maybe. That would be great. So hope to meet them at the EURAM. And you see also on the slide design that Bettina is the co-author here, and for the first paper is the same design. And I will skip briefly through that. Why is life design important? Because Radek already mentioned it. A lot of like, especially the 3 points are related to careers and how uncertainty and complexity of all the topics is influencing life design. But especially because in the course I'm teaching, I have positive psychology interventions in there, so mental health and purpose crisis, because we see a lot of depression rates and mindfulness a big topic. Yeah, so I work with your this is also one topic which I try to bring across to my students. Mindfulness is the foundation of everything. You don't need to do a lot of personal development courses if you do mindfulness. So, yeah.
I love that you cite Sullivan.
Sorry?
I love that you cite Sullivan. I love his work.
Thank you. So, and the goals of this research, or how we did it, first we did a literature review on 3 concepts, and then I did identification and visualization of overlaps between these 3 concepts, as well as the unique contributions of each approach to a holistic life design. And again, life design, the way I teach it at the university, because it's totally different from what you do. So what we thought of is life design counseling, Savikas, narrative agency and adaptability, then design thinking, since also inspired by Stanford, right, from the life design workshop as a process, and then the interventions in the life design course itself are taken from positive psychology. So it's kind of a constructed life design course using design thinking as a process with positive psychology interventions, but supported by the life design counseling approach from Savikas. Oops. Okay. Okay, sorry. So I will just go briefly through that because Radek already pointed that out. So life design counseling by Savikas emphasizes constructivism and narrative identity, so it's bringing people into agency and taking over their life and self-authorship, and it's built it incorporates a holistic and lifespan perspective. And then we have the design thinking process. So it's human-centered design, promotes creative problem solving and experimentation, and encourages also a lot of collaboration, which I see in my course, especially because we have I have from 12 to 32 students, although I would say 32 is already too much. The supervision is not that close and not that deep anymore, but the collaboration between the students is really valuable. So the design thinking process itself adds a lot of benefits to life design. And it fosters proactive and iterative life prototyping. And then we have positive psychology interventions, which is the focus is on strengths, right, and well-being and flourishing. That's why I measure well-being and flourishing in my course. I totally agree with you because I've listened to a talk from a professor from Freed University, and he said all the positive psychology interventions, they have a maximum of 0.5 effect. And it's very difficult to make this high jump. So, but I'm trying to see what actually the course contributes to. And it enhances emotional resilience with via positive emotions, promotes kind of a growth mindset and purpose development, because we look into purpose a little bit more into depth, not like the usual life design course, for example. So you see a lot of differences in this course. And we are talking also about hedonic and eudaimonic well-being in the course. So these are the 3 frameworks, and we just started to cluster them out, so that's why I'm saying it's the first round. And you can see that the human-centered approach in all 3 is, of course, core for them. Then we have life design counseling. Don't move. Life design counseling and design thinking, where we have the adaptability and uncertainty, and also the dynamic process, which we don't have in positive psychology. And here the focus between life design counseling and positive psychology on eudaimonic well-being. So these are the overlaps, but here we have what is each theory or framework contributing. Life design counseling is narrative identity and life coherence, positive psychology through positive emotion growth mindset, and also purpose-driven, but it's overlapping here. And design thinking adds to the whole life design course with iterative prototyping and future prototypes iterative prototyping of future pathways. And the goal is to have an integrated framework for a strategic, reflective, and human-centered life design process. And these frameworks are not only innovative, but also emotionally and ethically grounded for us. So the thing, since we are still developing the whole paper, you know me already, I'm always presenting ideas and try to get feedback from you. That's why the question is, what other concepts, theories, and frameworks do you use in life design? That would be interesting to know. Thanks a lot.